everybody and welcome back to my channel. So in this series of sorting algorithms, insertion sort is the next sorting algorithm that we are going to see today. Now in case if you just want to know the key points and the main highlights of insertion sort, you can just skip to the end of the video. Now what happens in insertion sort is that we assume that the first half of the array is already sorted and we take every element from the second half and we try to place it in the first half in the sorted order. So now let's see how this works. We know that any element is sorted in its own. So over here we'll assume that this part of the array is already sorted, and now I have to take this element and I have to place it in this array so that the first array still remains sorted. Now over here we know that this part is already sorted and this number is less than 6, that 1 is less than 6. So this means that the correct position of 6 is over here only. So in my next pass, we'll have this as our first array. Now next number is 7. We again compare the number 7 with the last element of first array. 7 is greater than 6, so its actual position is the same. So we'll have 1, 6 and 7 over here. Now coming to the third pass. Now this part is already sorted. Now we take the number 3. Now as we can see that number 3 is smaller than 7. So number 3 has to come somewhere before 7. So what we'll do is we'll swap the two numbers. So over here what we'll have is we'll have 1, 6, 3, 7. Now I again check the previous number with the number 3. So over here we have 3 and over here we have 6. So 6 is greater than 3. This means that 3 is going to come somewhere before 6. So we are again going to swap these two numbers. So over here we'll have 3 and over here we'll have 6. Now I see that 1 is smaller than 3. So this means that this is a sorted order. So after this pass, over here we'll have 1, 3 and 6. Over here we'll have 7, 3, 9. These all will be in the same order. Okay, now we know that this part of the array is already sorted. Now we take our element 9, we compare it with 7. Since the greatest number of the first array is already smaller than the first number of the second array, this means that this is the correct position of this element. So the next will be also the same, because 9 is already in the correct position with respect to the first half of the array. Now this part of the array is sorted. Now our next number is 5. Now we compare 5 with 9. 5 is smaller, so we are going to swap them. Then I compare 5 with 7. Again 5 is smaller, so we are going to swap them. Now we check 6 and 5. 6 is greater, so again we are going to swap them. Now over here 3 is smaller than 5. This means that 5 has reached its correct position. So over here in this pass our array will look like this. Okay, so now this part of the array is sorted. In the next pass, number 9 is not smaller than this 9, so nothing is going to change and this part will become now sorted. Now since number 1 is smaller than number 9. So these two are going to swap. So over here I'll have 1 and over here I'll have 9. Then 1 is again smaller than 9. So over here we'll have 1 and 9. Again we'll swap. So 1 and 7. 6 is greater than 1. Therefore 1 and 6. Then 5 is greater than 1. So over here we'll have 1 and over here we'll have 5. 3 is greater than 1. So 1 and 3. So at the end over here we'll have an array like this. We stopped here because 1 is not greater than 1. So now this part of the array is sorted. The same procedure will be done for all of the elements. And in the last we'll have our sorted array as 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 and 9, 9. Now what we are actually doing in insertion sort is that for every element in the second half of the array, we are taking that element and just positioning it in the correct order according to the first half of the array. Now as you can see that whenever I found my right element smaller than the left element, I performed a swap. Now these number of swaps can be optimized. What we can do is, suppose that I have to place this, let's do it for this part. Now I have to place this element in the first half. So what we can do is, I can take another variable I or any variable and I will store the number that has to be placed in the correct index. So over here, whenever I'll see that this element is greater than the right element, so we are just going to place this element over here. So what we are going to do is, since 9 is greater than 7, so 9 will come here. Then we'll see this 9 is also this 9 is also greater than 7, so this 9 will come over here. Now this 7 is not greater than 7, so nothing will be done over here, and this index that we have got, this current place is the place where this 7 will come, and this is the 7 which we had to insert. So after this pass, our array will look like this: 1, 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7, 9, 9, 0, 4, 2. Now let's see what happens in the next pass. Now in this pass, we have to place the number 0. So my variable I will have 0. Now I'll see if 9 is greater than 0. Yes. So over here I'll place 9. Then I'll come to this index. Is 9 greater than 0? Yes. So I'll place it on the next index. So over here will come 9. Coming to this, is 7 greater than 0? Yes. So 7 will be placed here. Again 7 is greater than 0. So it will be placed here. 6 is also greater than 0. So 6 will be placed here. 5 is also greater than 0. 5. Similarly for 3, 1 and 1. Now as soon as I reach the starting of the index, I get to know that no more elements are left, and this means that this is the smallest number in my first half of the array now. So over here I'll place this number 0. So my array in this pass looks like this. Now I have to insert my number 4. So this becomes 4. 9 is greater than 4. 9 is also greater than 4. Then 2 7s are greater than 4. 6 is also greater than 4. 5 is also greater than 4. Now 3 is not greater than 4. So over here we'll place our number 4, and rest of the array remains same. Now this part is sorted and the number that has to be inserted is 2. So we'll shift the numbers that are greater than 2 to the next position, and the moment we find the number which is not greater than 2, we are going to add our number in the next position. So this is our sorted array over here. So first we know that for the initial part, for the first pass, we are going to take our element 0 as the first part of the array. So now I have to place the numbers from element 1, the index 1 to length in my first half. So I will be the number which has to be placed in the first half of the array. Now I'll take a helping variable and over here I'll store the number that has to be placed in the first half. Now J is the another loop iterator which will help us iterate or traverse through the first half of the array. Now we know that in the array, if this part is sorted and I have to add this element in this part, so we'll iterate from the end of this array to the first element, or unless the index over where this element has to be added is found. So if this index is I, so we have to iterate from I minus 1 up till 0. So over here we'll have j is equals to I minus 1. So j will be pointing over here at the last element of the first half, and we are going to iterate up unless and until j is greater than 0 and j minus minus. Now what we'll do is, if I find the element at jth index greater than my helping number, which is the number that has to be inserted, I'll shift that element to the next index. So if this number is greater than this number, so I'm going to shift this number over here. Now if the second last number is greater than the helping number, so we are going to shift it over here. So we will do this unless and until we find a place where my helping number or my target number has to be added. Now if this number is not greater than helping number, this means it is smaller or equal to the number. So once this happens, what we are going to do is, we are going to place the place my helping number at that index, and once we find that place, we are going to break the loop. Now there can be another scenario that this number was the least number and we reached at the starting of the index. Now at this point of time, j becomes minus 1, and this is the reason that this for loop got terminated. So over here we have to check that if my j is equals to minus 1, so this means that my helping number is the smallest number, and so I'll add my number at the 0th index. Now let's see if this works. See, our array has been sorted. You can also make a little few more changes over here in order to make a really short code, but the time complexity still remains the same. Now let's see some of the key points of insertion sort. Now first of all, insertion sort is a comparison based sorting technique. A comparison based sorting technique is a technique in which we take two elements, we compare their values, and then accordingly we decide that which element will come first. Second point is that the total number of passes are n-1, because we are iterating from element 1, the element at index 1 till the last element in the array. So total number of passes are n-1. The time complexity is of order of n square. Now see, As we have n minus 1 passes, in the first pass, the first half of the array has to be traversed. So at max, one element has to be traversed, because in my first pass, the first half of the array had only one element. In the second pass, maximum 2 elements, because now my first half has 2 elements, and so on up till n minus 1, in where I have to traverse at maximum of n minus 1 elements. So total of it will be summation of n minus 1, which comes out to be n minus 1 into n by 2. So this is of order of n square. Now this is only the average and worst case time complexity, but when my array is already sorted, so the time complexity is of order of n. Now let's see an example. Now suppose if my array is this. Now over here what will happen? First, this part is sorted and we have to place these numbers. I'll take 2. 2 is already greater than 1, so this is in the right position. We'll go to the next part. Now in this pass, we have to add 3. 3 is already greater than 2. So this pass gets over. Now 4 is already greater than 3. Again this gets over. 5 is also greater than 4. Also this gets over, and so on. Now what happened is that the entire first half of the array was not traversed, and only comparing one element, we understood that the number that has to be inserted is already in the correct position. So in best case, the time complexity will be of order of 1. Now we are not using any other array in order to sort using insertion sort. Also, this is the insertion sort is not a recursive function, so no stack space is required. Also, no external space has been taken in order to sort using this type of sorting technique. So the space complexity of order of 1, and hence it is an in-place sorting algorithm. Also, insertion sort is a stable sorting algorithm, which means that if I have 2 2's in the array, and if I name it as A and I name it as B, so after sorting, the order of A and B will be the same. Now let's see how. If instead of I'll just write 4 over here and I'll make it 2. Now this is A and this is B. Now this part of the array is already sorted. So now we'll place this 2 over here. So we'll check that 4 is greater than this 2. So I'm going to place 4. Now 2 is not greater than 2. So we are not going to do anything with this 2, and we are just going to place this 2 over here. See, still the order of A and B was same. So this means that it is a stable sorting algorithm. The last thing is that insertion sort can be used in order to count the number of inversions. Now let's see what an inversion is. Now if suppose I have 2 elements at index, one is at index I and another is at index j, where I is less than j. Then these 2 indexes and the elements at these indexes are known as an inversion pair if the element at index I is greater than the element at index j. This means that the index of the first element is smaller than the index of the second element, but the first element is greater than the second element. Now let's see how we can use insertion sort in order to find these number of inversions. Now let's suppose this was our array. Now in the first pass, we see that 2 is smaller than 3. So this means that it has to be inserted somewhere before. Now this shows that if this element is greater than our second element, over here I is at 0 and j is at 1. but the element of I is greater than the element of j. So this is an inversion pair. So we can say that the total number of swaps is equals to the total number of inversion pair. Because the first part of the array will always have the indexes less than the second part of the array, and if any number is found greater in the first part than the element that has to be inserted from the second part, this means that they both are an inversion pair. So this was all for today's video. If you have any doubts, you can leave a comment down below. Also, if you want me to solve any particular question of yours, you can write it in the comment section with the hashtag #CodeMyQuestion. Also, I will be uploading all these codes on my GitHub account. I will leave the link in the description. And if you like my videos and you find them helpful, please spread it across and do hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.